Hello everybody, welcome to the channel again. My name is Sean Bogarts, but you probably knew by now. I'm sitting here at my braiding station in my shop, and I was thinking that throughout the years I used to make my foundations for buttons, and especially round buttons, by going through the braid with 2 strings and then make a multiple string ring knot that is anchored into the braid. Then a couple of years ago I asked for one of the demonstrations at the Rawhiders gathering in NRS Ranch in Decatur, Texas, to be about turnbacks, because turnbacks have always been somewhat of an issue for me to get my turnbacks nice. Well, it was the first year that Nate Walt came to the gathering, and we were fortunate to be able to welcome him a couple more times. But Nate did his complete turnback, how he did it, and you can find all that on the videos from the Rawhiders gathering that are for sale through either the Rawhiders gathering or Whitney Hall, who is our videographer. Anyway, what he did is not only to turn it back and braid it back in, but he made his foundation with leather, and he just glued it on, and I started doing it too, and it doesn't go anywhere. Like what I used to do at first was anchor a ring knot here and a ring knot here, and then fill it up with whatever, like leather or twine or string, whatever. But I never got it to the point where I liked it and where it was somewhat symmetrical on both ring ends. So I started working with the leather collar, so to speak, and it worked real good. Now what I do is, this is how I have my glue. It's a contact cement, and it works real good, even to glue leather to other materials. But what I do is I put on one layer, and it's just an old Coke bottle, and I either use some scrap lamb sheep wool, and I got a little hole drilled in here so I can actually pour it on a surface, or I can pour it on some sheepskin. And then I also have this little thing. So what I do is I apply a coat of this contact cement on whatever it is, excuse me, whatever it is I'm going to glue. And then I'll let it dry for about an hour. What that does is it gives that contact cement a really good glue on that surface. Then after about an hour or so, when it's completely dry, probably not even tacky anymore, I put on a second layer. And so this is the first time I'm trying this on a set of reins, where you see this piece of tape here. So one reason why I started or wanted to try this is, even if I go and I count and I go through the braid, and let's say I got like, what, 3 or 4 strings here and go underneath the 4th one or the 5th one, whatever. Whenever I got the ring done, it was never as even as I wanted it to be. So I figured if I can do it this way with the tape, and so I got several widths of this masking tape. So whatever width I want to use, I got it all over my body. Then I put the glue on, and then with something like this, I make sure it's nice and even and what have you. And I had a strip of fetch stand leather, and I split it to the thickness that I wanted it to be. And so after the second coat of glue on both my leather strip and the body where I wanted it to, I can go in there, and it's pretty easy. Like, I can shape it around here and like really grip it together, and then like with some candle pliers or something, I can go in and I can really squeeze it in here. So once I get that done, I take off all the tape, and I let it sit for about a day. So my next step is I got this, piece of pliers that you can find in any hardware store. And I can't do it in one step here, but I just take the first one off, and then I kind of see where it kind of wants to sit. I nip it off, and from here I take it to a little bitty piece of sandpaper, make sure that my foundation is the way I want it. And I gotta say, I beveled this strip on one of my rawhide bevelers, so I don't have a lot of work on it anymore. But what surprised me is, with doing it this way, I've been pulling like crazy on this, and these buttons ain't going anywhere. So I thought it was a neat trick that, I didn't discover anything, but sometimes when you 1 + 1 sometimes turns out to be 3. So I used several techniques that I saw or learned from people at the Rawhiders Gathering, brought them together, and I feel this center range is going to be better balanced than any I did before, because I feel I have a lot better control over the foundation of my button. So I thought it was worthwhile sharing this. So if y'all want to try it, go ahead, drop me a line here below or on Facebook that you tried it, and whether you liked it or not, whether it worked for you or not. I think the glue is a very important factor. But for me, so far, it worked. So I like it, and when this set's finished, I'll post it on Facebook or the Rawhiders Gathering, whatever, and go from there. So I hope this little trick may benefit somebody, and let me know if it does. If you like what we're doing, just hit that like button, and become a subscriber of our channel, and it'll help us out a little bit and make sure we can continue to give good content on rawhide gear and rawhide braiding and what have you. So, see you next time. Have a nice day, y'all.